All right, everyone. So it's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out. I'm feeling tired. But before I go out, I've got to pregame. And the only way I pregame is with an ice cold Bud Light. So good. Happy Friday.
Is that an artificial intelligence deep fake, or is the president of the United States trying to reach out to his new voter base? Well, I think it's fair to say that we will never know. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudetsky here. If we are changed.org, and there is a lot of just absolutely bewildering, wild news to get into today, especially when it comes to the geopolitical conflict in Ukraine. The latest with Bud Light, and of course, a truck ramming incident in Washington, D.C. that is bringing a lot of very curious questions to the surface here that we're going to be examining in this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Great way to really confuse a lot of Starbucks baristas. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shared by C3PM Meme. And if this is the person that did this video, sincerely shouts out to them for doing incredible work. I think they're definitely worth a follow for that meme magic that I think we definitely need more of in our modern day society. So yeah, check out C3P Meme. If they have a YouTube channel, we're going to link it down in the description below so you could find more of their work, as I think humor is needed more than ever in our ever so dystopian, technocratic, really sad future where people are sacrificed for the betterment of politicians so they could collect tax revenue from you, which in my opinion, I think perfectly represents war, which is currently happening right now between Ukraine and Russia, representing a larger proxy war between the East and the West. All of this, as in yesterday's video, we talked about a Ukrainian incursion into Russian territory as 50 men dressed as Russian soldiers who were in vehicles that were provided to them by the United States and attacked a military location inside of Russia, which led to 39 of them being KIA'd and 5 of them taken prisoner in what looks like a massive PR stunt that sacrificed these soldiers, took them away from their family members, achieving absolutely no military victory here except for a PR victory, as of course major American and Western media outlets are running with headlines calling this mission somehow a major success and achievement, and now how allegedly Moscow is running scared and evacuating border villages around Ukraine, omitting the fact that the territory taken by these Ukrainian soldiers was quickly taken back, and not telling their viewers that this is another grave escalation of this geopolitical proxy war that endangers the future of all humanity. This, as I think it's fair to say, that a lot of people are fighting a propaganda war, which some would say is more vital and important than the actual war that's happening right now. And it makes sense, especially with all the fifth generational warfare happening inside of the United States, particularly at Fox News, which we're finding out today has been ordering their producers not to criticize Dylan Mulvaney, the face of Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch, that is now seeing a 26% dip in earnings after trying to promote their liquor and alcohol on the small children that predominantly watch his channel on TikTok. Now, why is Fox News telling their producers not to criticize someone trying to sell booze to small children? Well, that's a very interesting development, as of course JP Morgan and Chase is even warning that their woke advertisement campaign for children is alienating a lot of American consumers who are going to be boycotting the beer for the quote foreseeable future. Personally, I'm definitely going to be boycotting it myself because personally, I don't drink endocrine disrupting, testosterone declining, estrogen boosting, fluoride filled, pineal gland calcifying beverages myself. And that's one of the tips that I give to many people on LukeUnfiltered.com, our own members area where we get to have more of an honest, frank discussion. Lots of things to discuss today on today's Unfiltered show that is only available for members. We're going to be deep diving into a lot of health issues, into a lot of other issues that we cannot talk about here on this particular broadcast, particularly the 30 tons of explosive chemicals that just magically disappeared Lots of crazy, lots of wild stuff. All of that is going to be discussed in a special episode only available for members on lukeunfiltered.com. Click the link down in the description below. Click right here. Put in your information. Signing up is quick. It's easy. We have one of the best customer services in the industry. And our members area is unlike any other. You look at all these other people who during members area, they're slacking. They're absolutely slacking compared to what we offer you as a viewer, as a member, as we have gone above and beyond when it comes to providing you offers of value. All on lukeunfiltered.com for less than 50 cents a day. We truly do bust our butts. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this particular platform. It is the one and sure way that we could still have a voice and finance this independent media organization. So if you haven't signed up yet, sign up right now just by clicking the link down in the description below, and I will see you there right after this broadcast. As of course, there's a lot of things to talk about still that definitely put us on the radar and put a large target on our back, since of course criticizing the organization that we're going to be criticizing is pretty risky. Your membership on lukeunfiltered.com helps finance and secure our future to be more prepared to, of course, withstand any potential attacks on this independent media organization in the future. All of this as a couple days ago, the U.S. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court made public that the FBI from 2020 to early 2021 violated the law and abused spy laws to an estimated 280,000 times in just a span of a year, failing to adequately justify the need to spy on U.S. citizen communications while using a law which is specifically aimed at foreigners, highlighting once again how this agency is above the law and currently is refusing to share documents with Republicans that they promised that they were going to release, highlighting specifically how the current president of the United States was involved in a criminal bribery scheme with a foreign national. FBI officials met with the House Oversight Committee in the United States and said that they would provide these documents and have failed to do so, acting once again as a protection agency for the current regime in charge, while heavily prosecuting and punishing anyone else of an opposite ideology that threatens the grip of power that this current administration has in Washington, D.C. All of this as, of course, only a few brave individuals are willing to criticize this larger intelligence agency. One of those individuals is, of course, Robert Kennedy Jr., who came out today and said that we are going through the, quote, political weaponization of the FBI that destroyed a sitting president. That president is, of course, the former president of the United States that is running to be president in 2024, which brings us to the main topic of discussion, and that is a U-Haul truck that crashed into the security barriers near the White House just a few hours ago. Now, why is this story relevant? Well, everyone's talking about it, as of course the key details here is that somehow that this is linked to far-right political ideas. Now, this is a very interesting notion, as of course we are now hearing from a lot of sensationalistic establishment pundits that this is an attack on the life of the current president of the United States that is somehow very politically motivated, as individuals like Cenk Uygur are using this event, specifically targeting right-wing ideologies and using emotional hyperbolic dribble in order to justify that this ideology is linked to, quote, political violence. But there's a couple key details about this entire event that definitely make you question what exactly is happening here. As the official story goes, that this young man who is 19 years old rented a U-Haul truck that you have to be 25 years of age to rent in the middle of the night, deciding to use that truck to specifically go over barriers that are meant to stop vehicles near the White House, conveniently also only having a right-wing extremist flag in his possession, which was nicely placed outside of the car after the incident for all the media and federal authorities to see in plain sight, just so those images could of course go viral. And that's the official story we're told to believe that is somehow responsible for all of right-wing violence, as of course a Missouri teenager named Sai Varsit Kondula has been named in this incident, which I think it's fair to say a lot of people are going to have a lot more serious questions about, especially with the desperate links of somehow this man, this face being the new representation of white supremacy inside of the United States. Now, of course, a lot of people are responding to this story with a lot of skepticism, but it is still important to highlight that we do not know exactly what was happening here, as some people facetiously are saying that this Sai Varshit Kundula also had ties to Clayton Bigsby. A lot of other people are sharing alleged text messages between him and what probably most likely was an FBI informant, as it's also important to say that the FBI also has clear ties to working with mentally unstable individuals, trying to get them, pushing them, and also, in many other instances, manipulating them to do acts that they originally do not want to do, all in the name of fighting, quote, domestic terrorism. Now, exactly what happened here, what are the details? We're still waiting for all of that to come in. And then until we do, I think we could tell Cenk Uygur to calm down there for just a little bit there. Jumping to conclusions usually isn't the best thing to do here. But obviously, whatever this plot was, it wasn't a very smart one. It was a very low IQ, idiotic one that makes no sense at all. And what was this lunatic thinking here? He was going to drive a U-Haul truck through all the security barriers and somehow be able to target the president of the United States? This whole story makes no sense at all. This is, I think it's fair to say, after the 3 years of PSYOPs that we've been through, that it's been a while since the government had an excuse to try to destroy more civil rights and to eviscerate more of your wealth and personal well-being. So I think it's fair to say, especially with the latest developments that happened in California, with 30 tons of explosive chemicals that just disappeared from a train car, that there probably is going to be some kind of event that we should be looking out for that might be a particular setup of a particular story and a narrative that benefits the state and screws everyone else over, especially in the upcoming presidential election that, of course, a lot of people are paying attention to, and this is why we need to pay attention to the story more than ever, as I think it's fair to say that the very sinister people that did a lot of bad stuff that they were never held accountable for are probably planning more sinister stuff. That's my assessment. That's my personal opinion. What do you think is going on here? What do you think is the actual story of what happened here? Let me know down in the comment section below. For right now, we don't know. We can only speculate, but hey, if you found this speculation interesting, share it with your friends and family members. And because you do, that's one of the reasons that I am still here. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video coming your way right now on lukeunfiltered.com, where I will expand on these ideas. See you there.